Hey guys! Wait. Okay. Hey guys! Welcome to the Saturday update. I'm sorry about nothing. Last week's update was kind of short. I was out of ideas. Um, I had this week's update planned though, and this week's update that was kind of like I was trying not to talk about this week's update last week. Well, anyways, last week I told you guys that this summer is going to become a quest for me to get as many games as I can, to go garage sailing, to go flea marketing, whatever the fuck you do to get games cheap. It's gonna be like a great quest for me to find as many as I can, dirt cheap, and find dirt cheap games. I did. I found some. I actually 4 PS2 games and 2 controllers, $17. Why the hell not? That is a great deal at a garage sale. So I don't think you guys there's like some kind of store you can go looking for. Is not, but actually, believe it or not, this controller. I have a funny story about this controller here. Is also my cat meowing at me. Yeah, she's meowing at me. Two of these things, if at that, $1 each. But DualShocks. I have not had a DualShock controller in years. I have not had a black regular PS2 controller in years. I had 2 of them at first. When I first got my PS2, I had 2 black controllers, and I lost them. I think they're upstairs with the rest of the storage of things I never use. I think they're up there with that stuff. They're right next to the PS3 Rock Band equipment. Yeah, I have 2 more somewhere in this house, but I've lost them. And obviously, I decided I'll use another controller. It was this clear controller by what's the company called? Mongoose. Not Mongoose. Mongoose is a bike company. What's the one that does like the cheap, the most popular one? It does game item peripheral ripoffs. I don't know who the name of the company is, but I have I've gotten a lot of controllers from them. That's the one I usually buy my second controllers with. And they make wireless controllers. I don't use wireless controllers on the old systems as much, but, well, they also made a PS2 controller that was, like, transparent, and it would glow blue. It would turn blue and light up whenever you played with it. And I used that, and that thing broke. It still works. It's just the shell is a little bit broken on it. And I don't know where it went. I still have it. I kept it. But I don't know where it went. So I'm stuck with one more controller, which is a PS1 controller. And a PS1 controller, if you guys didn't know, does not work on certain games. A PS1 controller will plug into your PS2 and play, but it is not a DualShock. It's just a PS controller. It's just a generic PlayStation. I think there's a way you can make it work on the PS3 even, but it's not a DualShock. It will not play DualShock games. Like I got it to play Sly Cooper. I got it to play Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, the whole 9 yards. But some of my weirder games it wouldn't play. It wouldn't play Dog's Life. If anyone knows what that game is, go look it up if you haven't heard of it. It wouldn't play, don't ask why I own this game. It wouldn't play Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I tried to Let's Play it as a joke. I wouldn't play that. I don't know what it does. I don't know what the difference with a DualShock and a regular controller is. But a PS1 controller does not count as DualShock. I guess DualShock has, like, better vibrations or something like that. I don't know what the point of that shit is, but apparently it's important for the games, but I think it has better button tapping senses. Like PS1's no better than Nintendo 64, and if you guys know, there's only so fast Nintendo 64 can pick up. You can only press the button so fast before it doesn't count, and the fastest it picks up is about the fastest a human can go, a little bit lower than that. So I mean, you can beat the Nintendo 64's average. PS2 is different than that. It can recognize button presses faster than humanly possible, and that's the magic. You want to get out, kitty? Go play. Like, the PS1 controller does not work for all the PS2 games, and I was like, I'm not going to waste the money on a DualShock, unless I find it dirt cheap, which I did. I found them for $1 each. So I'm like, I found these cheap ones, I'm like, great, and I can finally play the games I can probably play. I mean, these are mostly going to be like joke Let's Plays, because the games, it doesn't power very good games, but there's some good games on it that require a DualShock, and I'm pretty sure eventually, had I never bought a DualShock, I'm going to come across a game that requires one. Anyway, they got 4 games here. I haven't tried them all yet. I just got them yesterday. But, funny story here about this one. Everybody's played this game. Everybody knows what Spyro is. Except me. I never grew up with it. Before this, there was only one Spyro game I played, and that was Skylanders. And I hardly consider it a Spyro game, because Skylanders too modernized, like everyone always says. It's kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog. You play one of the modern ones, it isn't the same as playing the old ones. And Skylanders, I mean, it was a pretty cool game, but I'm playing this one, and I've realized that Skylanders is a piece of shit. Biggest waste of money compared to the old ones. But, I mean, Skylanders is a pretty good game, though. I mean, I'm not going to talk about Skylanders in this update. If you guys want me to talk about it next week when I have time, I will. But, yes. I'm enjoying the game. And I can tell why everyone was such a big fan of it back in the day. It is by the people who did Crash Bandicoot, so I have to respect it. That's another game I've been a bit of a fan of. I'm not as big of a Crash Bandicoot fan as many people, but... And then I got these 3. I got these 3 for a little bit more, but I got the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy. And, fun fact, I've never actually sat down and watched through all the movies, but I know what happens. I've played, the Lego versions, and I've played the Lego versions. I've played a few I've played a little bit of Lord of the Rings Online, and I know a lot about Lord of the Rings. I tried to read The Hobbit back in 3rd grade, but I didn't like it, and all kinds of things. I know a lot about Lord of the Rings, though, despite the fact I never sat down and watched the movies, and I probably should sit down and watch them sometime. It's kind of like Indiana Jones. I know a lot about Indiana Jones, but I never actually sat down and watched the movies themselves. I've just seen everything else of Indiana Jones. But, anyways, yes, Lord of the Rings. Haven't played the games yet. I think Shadow Toast wants to play them before me. So, I don't know. I want to beat Spyro before I work on them. So I'll talk about those in another update. But, they're probably good. I mean, I'm not a big fan of movie-based games. I'm known to not be a fan of them. But I've played a few good movie games. I've played some good ones. There's a few good ones out there. Like, some movie-based games, like Ghostbusters, on the Xbox 360 are so good. Well, Ghostbusters is not really a movie. The game is a game of its own, but it's Ghostbusters, so it's basically Ghostbusters 3, but it's basically the equivalent of a third movie, but it's a game. So anyone out there waiting for a third movie, just play the damn game. It's close enough. Yeah, that's all I have to talk about this week. I mean, there's nothing else. Maybe next week I'll have more to talk about, but I'm probably not. I mean, I just had a great haul. I'm not going to get nothing more until I've gotten through a little bit of these games themselves, because I don't want this great search to become so great that I get games faster than I can play them, because I got 4 games in my hands here, all of them PS2 games, that I need to play. I need to play these games so I can talk about them, maybe Let's Play them. Yeah, Spyro, I'm definitely going to Let's Play Spyro in the future. I'm really enjoying it. It's really good, really easy for Let's Playing. And I understand it. It's good. It's great. And I don't understand why somebody would sell it for $3. Why? Why would you sell it for such a price? It's a good game. And the disc isn't broken, so I don't see what the big deal is. The disc is in good condition. So I guess they just just really wanted it off their hands or something. But, yeah, I'm going to call it an episode here. I'm not going to do a 2-part update like I always do, unless something pops up. Actually, I'll talk about it next part of the update. I'll do a part 2. I don't give a shit. I'll just do a part 2. So I'll see you guys then.